Hello! Today we are gonna go through the main parts of the central nervous system and I will tell a few facts about those, but the main idea is to show how those brain areas are called in Finnish. So you will see why it's sometimes hard to pronounce things in English. I hope you will enjoy the video. So, I'm Janika Ruuska and this is my study journey. I'm studying neuroscience at the University of Helsinki here in Finland, so I'm doing my master's there. Once in a while, I'm sharing basic life during my studies and once in a while topics related actually to the topic neuroscience. Welcome to my channel. So, if you want to go to the books, I would highly recommend my favorite book, this one, Principle of Neural Science from Kendall. This is 5th edition. I think there might be a new one which was released on this year. I'm not so sure, but this is still really valid. From here you can find everything about neuroscience, or it feels so. The other book what I just recently bought, and it's maybe kind of related to today's topic even more, if you want to learn some brain areas and you like to do some art, I'm using this one. I think there might be some other books too, or there should be, but this is okay-ish, I would say. Yeah. It's nice. I have to do my own probably to have the perfect match. But anyway, you can find here different pictures and you will color them, and then there is a basic info next to the pictures. Maybe I will show a quick example. So like this, I have colored and then the text. But yeah, I would recommend this book still. So first I will just quickly go through the areas and the names of those, and then I will go step by step each of them and mention the Finnish word for those. So the central nervous system, what we are going to talk about today, it means our brain and our spinal cord. It has 7 main parts, which I will go through, and maybe I will add some other words because it was so funny to see how things are. Now I'm learned to use English words. Even the pronouncing is sometimes a little bit difficult. But when someone says some brain area in Finnish, I'm like, where is that? So I'm used, because I'm studying in English, so that is the reason why it's easier to remember the English word. But some brain areas are similar, but some are not. They are not close at all, and I will show you soon. So, first part, if we move from down to up direction, more like, we have a spinal cord. Then we have so-called brainstem, which has 3 main parts. Those are medulla oblongata, also called medulla, pons, and midbrain. Then a little bit kind of behind our skull here, we have the cerebellum. The next one, which I would mention, it's super hard to pronounce. It's called Diencephalon. I maybe have to Google that and try it again when I'm going through these more deeply. But it's just basically, it's Thalamus and Hypothalamus. So that's the name for those 2 structures. And finally, we are in Cerebrum. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, all right. So let's go through these a little bit more deeply, and now you will hear how the Finnish words are for those. As you can guess, the facts what I'm giving about these brain areas, these are really kind of general and really simplified. So I will just really briefly to tell the really basic things. So the spinal cord, it's called in Finnish Selkäydin. Like for real? Okay. So what comes to spinal cord, it basically receives and process the sensory information which is coming from inside of our body and also the outside, like this through skin and also the organs what we have. It also controls the movement of our trunk and our limbs. So the brainstem, which has three structures, the medulla oblongata, pons and midbrain. I will tell more about midbrain a little bit later, but first I will go through these two structures. So the brainstem is called in Finnish Aivorunko. So brain is called aivo. So this is kind of, if I would translate it, it's more like brain trunk. Yes. Oh, that was actually funny to think. So, like the spinal cord, which I mentioned previously, the Selkäydin, it's more like back center, if I would translate it straightly, yeah. But back to the brainstem. So there we have the medulla oblongata, and in Finnish that's called Ydinjatke. Ydinjatke. But what comes to medulla oblongata, in a really simplified manner, it's taking part of the autonomic functions such as digestion, breathing, and control of heart rate. 10. Let's talk about pons. In Finnish, it's Aivosilta. So as we learned, aivo is the brain, and the silta is actually bridge. So we are talking about brain bridge. That's actually really nice. Yeah. So the pons is there, again, really simplified manner. It's there for conveying information from cerebral hemispheres to cerebellum. So it conveys the information. So the cerebellum, I maybe have to really quickly Google that, how that is pronounced. I'm back. Cerebellum. Was that correct? Alright, but that's called in Finnish Pikkuaivot. And if I would translate it again, it's small brain, which is again really nice because it's the smaller part here. Cerebellum, it's there modulating the force and the direction of the movement. It's also part of the learning of the motor skills. Then we can talk about the midbrain. So midbrain in Finnish, that is called Keskiaivot, and that is kind of pretty similar, even the word doesn't sound really like the same, but it's middle brain if I would translate it. So midbrain, we are talking about that, Keskiaivot. So midbrain is really important for controlling the sensory and the motor functions. It's also for kind of eye movement and coordination of visual and auditory systems. Alright, the one which I mentioned before, the Diencephalon, it's not pronounced like that, I'm sorry. You will learn really funny words. But it's, yeah, now I learned that it's called Diencephalon. Diencephalon. Yeah, I'm learning new words here. But we are actually talking about Thalamus and Hypothalamus, which are called in Finnish Talamus and Hypothalamus. So they are pretty similar for the English words and easy to remember. So Thalamus is really, really, really important for processing most of the information which is reaching the cerebral cortex coming from rest of the nervous system. So it's kind of gate there to let the information go to our cerebral cortex. And hypothalamus, there is a lot of hype with the hypothalamus, and I understand that because of it regulates our visceral, endocrine and autonomic functions. So a lot of things. So the last one, cerebrum, it's called Isoaivot in Finnish, and it means big brain. What kind of tells again how it is. So our cerebrum has two hemispheres, like these two, and the outer layer it's really, really wrinkled. and the wrinkled layer is called the cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex is called in Finnish Aivokuori. So kind of, yeah, brain cortex, I would say. Yeah, Aivokuori. Cerebral cortex, we will not go too deep into that, but it has 4 lobes. Those are frontal, parietal, occipital, and temporal lobe. Cerebrum has also 3 deep-lying structures, and those are the basal ganglia, the hippocampus, and amygdala. Basal ganglia, in Finnish, it's called Tyvitumake. That is the point where I will stop. Yeah, it's kind of... No, I will not even try to translate it. No, I will just call it basal ganglia. Basal ganglia, it's really important for regulating motor performance. Okay, the next one is hippocampus, and I know that nowadays we talk hippocampus in Finnish, also that, but I found out that it's also called Aivoturso. I will not continue with that. Now we just call it hippocampus, so hippocampus. So it's really important for example, memory storage, like the processing of the memory storage. Quite same with actually the amygdala, because when I'm talking in Finnish, I call it Amygdala, so pretty same. But actually it has a Finnish name, and that is Mantelitumake. So it's kind of, the first part is almond, and the second part is nuclei, I think, yeah. And kind of way it tells something, but still food, for real. What comes to amygdala, it's really important for autonomic and endocrine responses as well as emotional states. So basically, I have actually talked about it in my previous videos, so it's really important for fear responses, for example. So to summarize the names of the structures, both in English and in Finnish. So the spinal cord, Selkäydin. Structures of the brainstem, called Medulla oblongata, it's called Ydinjatke. Pons Aivosilta. Midbrain Keskiaivot. Cerebellum Pikkuaivot. Thalamus and Hypothalamus, which are Talamus and Hypothalamus. And finally Cerebrum, which is called Isoaivot. Alright, thank you for watching. I had so much fun doing this video. Hope to see you on next time. Bye.